So the Fashion and Fashion Business Award combines the best of fashion design and business theory and practice. So you'll get involved in industry insight days with a number of leading brands. And it's really important, the context of this particular slide, because this isn't really the industrialists who are actually doing the presentation. This is actually engaging our students and understanding about product development as well. And we have one of our students there who's actually discussing the product amongst their peers as well. And it's really important that on this award our students engage with live industry projects. And this particular brand approached the university and our students in order to establish a collaboration where the students would design and develop a series of products regarding a brief. And during that process, students were asked to pitch their ideas to the business, and the business kind of really looked at this really quite seriously in terms of ranges and designs that they could potentially take forward within a sort of business context. And of course, fashion and fashion business students really do need to get out and about as well. So we encourage not just FFB students and fashion business students, but of course fashion design students to engage with all sorts of trade exhibitions. So as a fashion and fashion business student, you'll learn all about the concept to customer journey and supply chain management, and obviously all the processes in between, from design to design development, to range building, range planning, to buying, to merchandising cycles as well, right through to supply chain management and the production, the delivery, and obviously the implementation and the merchandising, the visual merchandising of product as well. And we also cover aspects of marketing and branding too. So you'll start to really look at and focus on concepts that affect the fashion industry and the global fashion market. You will learn all about the customer and just how important the customer is to any business, and obviously fashion businesses as well, and all of the information that surrounds understanding consumer buying behaviour, technologies that are enabling our understanding of consumers today, and various other sort of theories and strategies too. Understanding all about markets is incredibly important as well, so we'll take you through those sort of processes. And obviously analysis, part of being a fashion and fashion business student isn't just about obviously the design aspect, but it's clearly about the analysis of information, brands, markets, consumers, and so forth. And of course, understanding the product development life cycle, the critical path, and all of the steps in between. So you'll really sort of learn all about kind of line sheets, product development, colorways, developing products from concept to completion as well, in a very sort of commercial context. And obviously finances form an incredibly important part of the learning right through from the first year into the final year. And also then branding, merchandising, visual communication, marketing, sales analysis all form part of the fashion and fashion business course. Okay, so I'd like to just explain a little bit more about how the program is structured from the first year right through to the third year as well. You'll have between 12.5 and 15 hours of core contact time per week. Okay, so let's look at the breakdown of the learning now for a fashion design student. So you'll study 4 modules over 2 semesters, and each of those modules is worth 30 credits. And you can see here that we have one called Fashion Design Fundamentals, one called Fashion Design Skills, one called Fashion Design Studio, and one called CNCS Level 4 Design. And within those modules you could have multiple assignments as well. So these are like briefs, these are like projects as well. The important thing to note here is that 75% of your learning in your first year is shared with the fashion and fashion business students as well. So Fashion Fundamentals 1, Fashion Design Skills 1 and Fashion Design Studio, you'll actually be studying alongside and sharing those modules with the fashion and fashion business students. CNCS Level 4 Design is where you are purely studying with your peers in fashion design. So now let's take a look at fashion and fashion business. Again, it's the same structure, 4 modules over 2 semesters. And again, you'll see that there are 3 common modules there: Fashion Design Fundamentals 1, Fashion Design Skills 1, Fashion Design Studio 1. And then you'll break out and study just with your fashion and fashion business peers on Fashion Business 1. So this is purely with your own students. So again, you will share 75% of your learning with the fashion design students. So now let's take a look at the second year structure. Again, it's a similar number of core contact hours, 12.5 to 15 per week. So for fashion design, there are still 4 modules in the second year, and you can see they're broken down equally into 30 credits each module. So there is a Fashion Design Fundamentals 2 module, Fashion Design Skills 2 module, Fashion Design Studio 2, and CNCS Level 5. You will note, though, that in your second year, you share 50% of your learning with the fashion and fashion business students. So those modules include Fashion Design Skills 2 and Fashion Design Studio 2. And then you break out and study purely with your peers for Fashion Design Fundamentals 2 and CNCS Level 5 Design. And we have a very similar process for fashion and fashion business students too. So again, in the second year, you're studying 4 modules over 2 semesters. Again, you're studying with the fashion design students on Fashion Design Skills 2 and Fashion Design Studio 2, and then you'll break out into your cohorts for Fashion Business 2 and Fashion Business 3. So let's take a look at your third year. So for a fashion design student, you will now study 3 modules over 2 semesters. You'll have a Design Directions Major Project module that's worth 60 credits. You'll have a Professional Portfolio Design module worth 30 credits. And you'll also be studying on CNCS Level 6 Fashion Degree Essay Report. And for the fashion and fashion business students, you'll also be studying 3 modules over 2 semesters. And these include your Fashion Business Investigative Study, Professional Portfolio Fashion Business, and CNCS Level 6 Fashion Degree Essay Report as well. So in your third year, you are studying predominantly with your own cohort as well, because you are now specialising in your award. So you'll have a great opportunity to get involved with live projects and industry engagement as well. And these are just some of the brands that we are working with, have worked with, amongst many others as well. So here is a local community project working with a Welwyn and Hatfield Museum Service, looking at the Cresta Heritage range of archive, and students worked with these vintage designs and reworked them into some more contemporary modern designs too. And it's really important that we recognise our students' sense of entrepreneurship as well. And here we have an example of a graduating fashion and fashion business student using the opportunity at their end of year exhibition to actually merchandise their brand and to invite clients along to come and try on and purchase. We have amazing workshop, and we have CAD/CAM, screen printing, digital printing facilities, amongst many other facilities within the School of Creative Arts as well, and obviously within the university. And also our students really do have the opportunity to get involved and undertake work placements, accredited, non-accredited, short, medium and long term in terms of sandwich year opportunities too. 100% of our students have the opportunity to undertake a short or medium term work placement during their time of study. And here is just an example of a student who graduated a couple of years ago. Within 2 weeks of completing their studies, had been snapped up by a particular brand and was on a plane to China and was doing some amazing work out there as an allocator and a sourcing individual as well, and now is kind of responsible for a whole area in Southeast Asia and Australia. Students have the option as well to go on a national and international study trips as well. Of course, these are not compulsory, but we really encourage students to take part as much as they possibly can. They're informative, they're educational, and of course they're fun as well. The programme is involved and stages a series of events as well, whether they're end of year exhibitions or whether it's our independent sort of fashion show, and also taking part in Graduate Fashion Week events as well. So regardless of whether you're a fashion design student or fashion and fashion business student, you have the opportunity to take part in these really prestigious shows and events as well. And here is just an example of some behind the scenes shots at one of the fashion shows. where we're just getting ready to go and the models are all sort of kitted up, ready to get onto the catwalk as well. And here are just some examples of student work over the years at this amazing event. So entry into the programme for 2020-2021 include achieving 96 UCAS points, 3 A-levels at grade C or above with formal or informal qualifications in art and design, BTECs at merit standard, and obviously entry is subject to portfolio interview. So why should you study here? Because creativity is the heart of the programme. We offer 2 inspiring awards. We have fantastic resources and it is a great place to study. It's an opportunity to work with some of the biggest names in fashion. Brilliant placement and graduate job prospects. We're only 25 minutes by train to London. An opportunity to take part in competitions and graduate shows. And we do have a dedicated and experienced team who have your learning interests at heart, and hopefully because it's fun. Thank you for listening, and join us at I Love UH Fashion and UH Creatives on Facebook and Instagram.